What's up, everybody? Welcome to Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. We got a special guest co-host. We got John from Arc Adventures, and then
Thank
our
you. Thank
special
you.
guest. Our guest will be coming on here in a bit. Just give you a little few updates. I didn't see anything in US Arc. I don't think there was any updates except that Washington won theirs, which is awesome. Um, on that note, I don't know, John. You got anything else to say?
No, let's have fun.
All right, let's do it. We're gonna bring out our guests, our king and queen exotics. We got Cam and Lilly. Here they come. What's up,
Hey,
guys?
Hello, hello.
we're
Can
so
y'all hear
excited
me?
to
Can
be
y'all
here.
hear us? We good? We good? All right, good.
Good.
All right, guys. Well, go ahead and tell us about who you are and what you work with.
Well, my name is Lily. We are a small breeder that started really recently after developing a really long and deep passion for ball python. We're both in the restaurant industry, so we work really long hours, and then when we're not working, we're spending all of our time with our snakes and building our business. We're super outdoorsy people. We love supporting others and just kind of helping things out in the community. So this is a really fun time because not only do we get to help out the community, but we also get to do it with things that we love, as in reptiles. So
Yeah, so I mean, it was one of those things like we were talking about getting a pet for a while. We were just chilling at the house a lot, and she would often say because our schedules are opposites that she'll be home, and she wanted something to be home when I wasn't home. And I was just like, I've never been a big fan of like mammals, like dogs or cats. It's a lot of work, and I've always been a
Yeah.
chef. So my hours are really long, and there's a lot of time where I'm not home, so it just didn't fit us. And one day she just called me on FaceTime, looked super nervous, and was like, "I need to talk to you. Like I have something serious I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "Ah, hell, I'm in trouble now. What did I do? I'm trying to rack my brain. What's going on?" And she just was like, "I really want to get a snake," and I instantly was like, "Yes." And then I was so surprised because she got so upset. She just looked so mad, and I'm like, "What? You wanted a snake? Like, sure." And she was just like, "No, like I just worked a long time for an hour now trying to pros and cons and tell you why we should get one, and you just didn't even let me do my spiel." So instantly we just got our first was a banana Hetfer pied, and it was just the
Nice.
best. We were just like
Nice.
instantly fell in love. We got our boy. He was named King. That's where King and Queen started. The second
Okay.
piece we got was Millie, and she's a black pastel, red stripe, yellow belly, fire, and her name's Millie, but we nickname her Queen too. That's where King and Queen kind of come from. So that's where it kind of started, and from there we just like really loved watching like different breeders like Will at Flawless and Miguel at always evolving pythons and stuff, and it just grew our love for it. Justin Cabelka, like we just our love for the reptile, especially ball python, just kept growing and growing, and just the information we kept learning was like nonstop, and it was just such a joy for us. It wasn't like we work long hours, so hobbies for us are like something that takes a lot of time, but when you love it, it just doesn't seem to take time. So now we're working heavily with pieds. We currently got a pregnant pastel Hetfer pied, and she paired with our banana Hetfer pied. And then we're also going to be working like clown projects, and we got a Orange Dream pied right now. We're trying to get her up to size. She's gonna be paired with our boy Naruto, who's an Orange Dream yellow belly pied. So we got a lot of pied things working, and we're also trying to get into clowns. Her like first one of her first snakes she fell in love with was like the Xantic pied. So that's what really heavily got us into pies.
which we have a crazy story about that we can revisit later about awareness on ball python scammers because there is not a lot of that and something crazy happened to us. So
What happened? Let's hear it.
all right,
Come on, let's hear
when
it.
so this is probably like what almost a year ago. I was on Facebook and I don't know, I was like scrolling through looking for like different ball python like groups and pages, and some way somehow I ended up following like a ball python for rehoming Facebook page. And the thing is like it had like 2 or 3 thousand like followers or likes or whatever. Like there was like every post had like lots of likes and lots of comments. So like it was a real normal page to me. There was no red flags. Well, we found a lightning pied And low key, like we should have known because it was expensive, or it was not expensive at all. It was like $300, but we found a lightning pied. And the thing is I talked to this breeder for literally like 2 whole weeks, and literally like the 2 whole weeks, because that we were going through some family things at the time, and couldn't get the snake at that moment. But they stayed in contact with us for 2 weeks, sent us pictures, videos, A, B, C, and D. And so then it started getting a little weird. And the thing is, they were located an hour away from us. So it started getting weird when it came to shipping. And I was like, you know what, forget it. Like, we'll just come and pick it up. They sent us an address, to the point I literally like put it in the GPS, found it on Google Maps. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I didn't feel weird at that point because it was a whole address. So we take the drive all the way there. We pull up to this house, and we like go, and like we message him when we pull up. Immediately they block us. We're like, what the heck? So we go and knock on the door. Of course, nobody's there. So he had not been messaging them at all off his Facebook. So he gets on his Facebook and messages like, hey, this is a beautiful snake. And immediately they like respond. And then once they responded, he like called them out like, hello, why'd you just block her? Blocked him too. And it was just like this whole thing. And unfortunately, I was stupid enough to make a deposit to them to hold that snake. And like the thing is with this like Zelle and the bank and all that stuff, like I just couldn't get the money back. So not only did we waste money, but all that driving and like the whole ride home, we were just so upset and angry and like mad at ourselves that we fell for that. But like looking at all of the things, it seems so real. It's just we knew it was one of those like too good to be true. Like, come on. And I think that needs to be talked about more, because I feel like that can happen to so many people.
I mean it's not reptile, but I get it. I had ordered some Kobe Bryant shoes, and they were like $40 on this website, right? So I'm like, $40 Kobe Bryant shoes, like that's dope. So I went and put the money down, the shoes and everything, and you couldn't even find the website anymore. So I was like, okay, I got ripped. Yeah, scam. But like, how much did you put down before you? If you don't mind me asking, like, how much did you put down?
I think it was just like 150 or something. Like, it wasn't a huge loss, but
Oh,
it was
you said 150 or 450?
150. The snake was only 300 total for
Oh,
lightning
okay.
tide. I should have known.
But,
Hey,
but
150
what
is
kind of?
150.
Yeah, I'm like,
They talked to me so much. Like, we were in such constant conversation. The scammers were so crazy. Like, they told me that their daughter was in the hospital having surgery. That's why they couldn't mail it on this day. Like, all this crazy stuff. And it's wild that people really like sit on their computer and like will communicate with you for 2 or 3 weeks to get $200 or $300. Like, it's crazy.
see, I have a similar story like that though. Like when I first got into the hobby, I actually bought a snake. It was ghost banana head pied or something like that. It was a ghost though. It was a ghost banana, and she's like, yeah, I'm selling her for like 150. And I sent the money, but I sent like 200. And I kept bugging her, and I kept like trying to call her, and then out of nowhere, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like, I'm not gonna be able to send you the snake. It's gonna have to be like next month and whatnot." And but I was like, okay, so I let the month go by, and I hit her up again, and she sent me the money back. She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna send it." So I think she was trying to scam me, but couldn't do it.
Well, hey, at least. That's crazy.
And she sent me the money back, but I was just like, wow. Like I didn't. I thought I was gonna get the snake, but apparently I didn't. You know, it sucked. But
It's like a
I mean,
sad feeling. I was so
yeah,
disappointed. Man, okay.
right. All looking forward to this is gonna be mine. This is gonna be my
Exactly.
all excited, right?
Right?
So, what made you all choose ball pythons to breed out of all species to choose from?
Honestly, it's like kind of like I feel like it's kind of a touchy thing. Um, Rest in peace, Brian. But that's how I initially like started and called, like why I like called him with that idea that day. Literally, like there was a day I was off of work and I had no plans. I was doing literally nothing but laying in bed and just like chilling. And I happened to like stumble across YouTube, and I was just watching like random videos, and I stopped paying attention to it and was just on my phone. And some way like the cycle of videos went through, and like there was like a Brian video. And I had never really been a reptile person. I've never watched reptiles on YouTube or even knew who Brian was at that time. But like I started watching and the video was funny. It was educational, like all the things that we know Brian's videos were. And I basically just started watching like a binge episode. Like I binged it for like 4 or 5 hours. I watched so many of his episodes, and like that's when I kind of like I was strategic with it and like was like outweighing like, oh well, we can't have an anaconda. Well, we can't have a reticulated. Well, and I don't know, like just the way like I thought Ben and Jerry, the two-headed ball python, I thought that was the cutest thing. I don't know, like it just kind of happened, and I thought they were really cute. We knew that they were like really docile animals. A girl that I knew at the time actually had recently got one too and was posting about it. And one of my cousins actually is a ball, or like he used to be like a breeder, has a few different ball pythons, and we always see him at some expos. So it kind of it was a thing that we just decided on. And honestly, like once we got into it, he started talking about like bearded dragons and leopard geckos. But we just know that like we, with the work schedules and the way that we're trying to build this like ball python breeding business, we don't have the time to like dedicate to feeding a gecko or a lizard, or like those things take way more like time and attention. So it's kind of hard to like hold off, but we do definitely want to expand on the ball python and the other things that we do.
I just want to say hello to Carissa. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. But yes, I will say lizards are harder to take care of. I had bearded dragons, and they're a pain. Yes, whoever has a bearded dragon knows it's a lot of cleaning, a lot of
Exactly.
trying to keep up with their maintenance. It's a lot. I'd rather just stay with snakes, but I got into everything. I had bearded dragons, I had leopard geckos, I have a day gecko, I have a crocodile gecko. Like I have so many geckos. I'm just like, dang, it's hard. It is. So I'm just like, man, I'm not like. Sometimes I just want to like get rid of them. Like I'm trying to get rid of the leopard geckos. Like one season I had 31 geckos, baby geckos hatch out. Yeah.
My God. What do you even do with 31 geckos? It's like,
Feed them and try to get rid of them.
right?
But I mean, I took care of them. I loved them, and of course, they went to people here in San Antonio only because that's where I promote myself. Because like when I got into this thing, or when I came into the hobby, I only had two snakes. I had ghost banana hip hide. It's a male, which I bought at a show, an expo show, for $300. Because it was my birthday, but she was selling it for way more than that. And she was like, well, it's your birthday. I'll give you this deal. She's like, $300 right now. I was like, I want it.
That's right.
But he was already like sub-adult, so all I needed was a female. So I took the snake home and I named him Genesis because he was like the first of all my snakes. So his name was Genesis.
That's smart. I never thought about that.
Yeah. So he's what started me into the hobby. And then my dad's like, well, if you start this before he passed away, he was like, you better stick with it.
Yeah.
I said, I am. I love reptiles. That's what I do. That's what I know, you know? And but then my dad passed away and I kind of fell off a little bit. I've been in and out, disappearing, just my dad was like my main supporter. If you have somebody that supports you like hard on, that was my dad for me.
Yeah.
So when he left, I was just like trying to get out. I was like, like I wasn't feeling it anymore. But all the people kept reaching out, like you need to come back, you need to stay here. We're not gonna let you leave, like I said. So they really ignited my passion again, like all of them reaching out to me like that, knowing that I could touch so many people with the podcast.
Absolutely.
So I love it. But I'm sorry, I don't know why that went on so long. I apologize.
Good.
I apologize. I don't know why that went on so long. But my next question for you is, what motivated your passion to do what you do, or to get with balls? Like, what motivated that passion? Was it Brian Barczyk's videos, or was there something
that
else?
was I'd definitely say that was a big part. We watched a lot more me. She's very big in social media. She's very good with the marketing and making videos, but like her attention span on paying attention to information, she gets overloaded and she's like, this is too much. But like with me, that's kind of like my passion. I just really love to learn, and like I said, I'm a chef at heart, and I'm a chef now. That's what I do for my job. So it's long hours, but like it's always different. You're always learning. Food's always evolving. You're always checking for the best product and making sure everything's coming in great. And when we got into the reptile business, it was like I said, just for pets, and it was cool at first, but it was just the information pouring in, and then the more I learned about breeders and like the stuff, and like you said, like with your dad and stuff, how the community just reached out. It was like seeing the negative side of the community, but how much people were fighting for the good of the community and good
Right.
information. And like Brian, for example, when he was putting out Snakebite TV, it was horrible husbandry and horrible taking care of the animals. And it's just like, even now, his later videos, he was saying, looking back, it's like, wow, what was I doing? So it's like a community that's always evolving just draws me in. And then the morphs of ball python, 6,000 different morphs, and still climbing, and just always like evolving and changing and things developing. It was just like a drive for information and learning was just part of it. And it's like something we can do together and we enjoy. Like I said, our schedules can be different. She works in the restaurant business. I do. Like hours are long. Sometimes just we don't see each other for a few days or for unless we're in bed going to sleep. So it gives us time to enjoy something together and like care and love for something and grow and put something into something. Like it's not just it is a business for us. We do have our business, but it's more so like a love that we can share together, because not just our love. And a lot of times when you're in relationships and you get into that monotony of life, you're just going through the circles, and it's like it gives us time to reflect and enjoy. Like, yeah, it sounds weird, but when we're at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about our next projects, cleaning up poops out of cages, it's bonding. It's good. Like, and it sounds weird. People who aren't in the industry or don't understand, like, might look
Right.
at it crazy, but like, those are the times I cherish with her, because it's like I see her light up when she's talking about, hey, like this video got this, we got this many followers, look at this, like, and just the passion she has, the light in her eyes about it, and like I know she feels the same way when I'm just telling her about these more she has no idea about, and she's like, is it gonna work? Does it fit our projects? Okay, cool. Like a lot of times she doesn't even know, but she's like, is it gonna be worth it? Is it something? Because she just loves all the snakes. She doesn't really care what horse they are. So
literally, like when we like first started when we first decided to like go into breeding, I think it was more his decision, because the thing is like we got one, we got two, we got a third, and I wanted to get more, and I'm like my morph market list is like this, and he's like, listen, we can't just have all of these pets, like we can't just keep getting snakes. And he was like, we should start breeding. And at first I was like, breeding, like we can't breed snakes, like who are we? Like I thought it was just out of the world. And then next thing you know, he's coming home from work with like pages of like morphs written down, and like a stack this thick of like printed stuff he like did at work. And I'm like, what are you doing? And like the amount of time he took just like watching videos and like writing all these things down and all this stuff, and I didn't really understand any of it. Like I don't understand. To this day, like I try really hard, but I don't understand how some people can just like look at something and be like, oh, it's this and that. I see it here and here. I'm still learning with that, but he like points it out all the time and can like pinpoint it. And I don't know, I just think it's really amazing. So like it just like we balance each other out in that way. Like I always say, like he's a snake guy, I'm the marketing guy. Like it works. But yeah, we have
That's awesome though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, that's all. That's amazing. That's amazing though. I like that. But I was gonna say, because when he brought up that you keep detailed information, that's what most women in the hobby do though. And I used to do an all women's podcast, and and let the women talk, let them. It would just go in a full circle. It was nice. And then I started bringing on more bigger guests, and I got away from it. I'm gonna actually try to go back to that, because I like the women to get known out there. They need to be known. So I want to try to go back to that, and eventually I will bring that back and have y'all back on there. Well, Lily on there for all women podcast.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be cool.
you, I don't know why, but you kind of remind me of Montana, because she's really like detailed with retics. The way you talk about ball pythons is the way she talks about retics.
Yeah.
Or boas, or like she knows these morphs, and I'm still learning retic morphs. So
Yeah. It's a lot.
it's just
Always something new.
there's a lot of cool women out there. Like I talked to Montana. You don't know who she is. She's on Instagram. She's a snake model, like Instagram model. But
Maybe.
yeah, she owns a big rig tick. She's awesome. Um, what's up, Wiz? Thank you for stopping by, brother. There's a in your face. I think her name is. Her Instagram name is. She's also a retic. There's a bunch of retic breeders that are really awesome people, though. Really
She's a
positive.
breeder.
The sponsor DNT retics. They're amazing people. I love them. Yep.
The best.
You're gonna meet a lot of new people. You just gotta get like, cause I like to cross when I do pods. I try to cross them. Like I'll get a green tree breeder, or and everybody just talks like, oh, how's that like, and then it's like information being passed on through each other. It's cool, and that's
Yeah.
what I try to do. But like I strayed away from that only because, like I said, everybody started talking like amongst themselves, and it was just a big circle. So I strayed away from that, but I need to get back into it. Getting back into that.
Yeah.
Montana the Sis. See. Do y'all know Bosa?
I think so.
He's a celebrity in the reptile industry.
Probably. I've recently had such an influx of people that have been following me, and I'm trying to follow everyone back, and my brain is on overload lately.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of people. Like I don't know if y'all know who Billy Creation is. Billy Mutation.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been on the pod. Um, he's really cool. He just tells you how it is. He's straightforward. I like him.
Really, I need
A
to
lot of
look
people don't, but I do. Uh, he's good people. And then
Yeah.
there's Trap Talk. MJ, he's also good people.
Yeah.
Um, it just we go back and forth. Um, but you got East Valley Exotic saying hi, Cam and Lily.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for supporting. It's been
So
so cool lately watching like our social medias grow, honestly. Like, and the amount of like something that I love the fact that so many people are willing to support each other because there's so many things out there and businesses that like shun each other, and just the fact that we all are here doing this, and like the way that even like the bigger guys like Canova and Miguel, like over at Always Evolving, like all these people that are like way bigger and have like a billion things going on in their life, and these big breeding facilities and everything, like even when they take the time to like shout us out or like our comments or share like our things on their stories, sometimes when we like respond to their things, like I don't know, that's just like it means so much to me that people don't get that, like they don't lose that humble part of what we're here for.
so I want you to go ahead and stand up, show off the merch.
He's got the hat too.
There you go. Oh yeah, I saw the hats. Those hats are nice. I want
Yeah.
Right,
one.
they
and
are.
they're super comfortable. Super comfortable.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like them.
Mike at Banana Bread definitely hooked us up. He's got the cutest stickers too. I love how he has the like the emojis. It just flows so perfect.
I gotta send y'all some of my stickers. John knows I'm like the king of swag packs here. My
Yeah.
my sticker pack is like what that big, John.
I
Bro,
need
I got a snake.
I need your links and on who to get it from. I ordered stickers recently, and I got like samples of like a bunch of different ones, but I'm trying to like do different. Like I think I want to kind of like do a different design. I don't know.
I got a snake from Chris, and the box was so heavy. And I thought, man, this snake is huge. I got it out, itty bitty ball, and then the rest of it was just stickers and wristbands.
Like Christmas.
It was bracelets,
Yeah.
pins, buttons, like you name it. Hat. I think you got a hat, right?
Yeah, it's here.
So
It's
speaking
ready
on
to
like
go.
big names in the industry, like who's that one person that you look up to the most in the community slash hobby
For
for you
me,
guys? Who's like that one person?
yeah, it's hard to choose one person, honestly. As far as like big on clowns and stuff, I look at Justin, what he's doing over there at Canova is just crazy. Miguel are always evolving pythons. And like I said, I really look up to Will over on Flawless Exotics, him and his wife, like just their energy and what they bring to the community and how transparent they are with the mistakes they're made and trying to tell you like, hey, we did this. it didn't work out, or we tried this and it worked out. Like, hey, maybe try this. It's like the transparency helps you, especially when you're newer. Not like everybody comes out and they act like they have all the experience and they've been doing it so long. Where Will and Audrey, they're just like, hey, this is who we are and this is where we're at. Like, we're learning as we go, and we're trying to get where we're going. And like, they're making a fire amazing snake. So like, those are like three of the big people that I watch almost daily. I get a lot of information. I reach out and they're all super friendly. They answer your messages within a few hours, if not a few minutes sometimes. So like, and they support you. They like our videos on YouTube, all her reels she's making on our Instagrams and stuff like that. So like, those are people I really respect, because like she said, they don't get too big in the hype. Like, everybody knows who they are, and they're like the cornerstones of some of these projects that nobody can even reach right now. And to just take the time to reshare something that we posted of theirs, or a comment or something, it means a lot, especially like to see people who don't have to take that time. They have way bigger breeding projects than we have right now. And a lot of times we feel like we're drowning in how busy we are. Like, so just to take that time, it shows a lot of respect. So they got ours.
Yeah. I'll say like
that helps out people, like the new people too. So we won't make the same mistakes. They're showing the mistakes we don't have to go through in the future, because we will make the same mistakes if we have the same people telling us, oh, everything's okay. Don't do nobody. If they don't tell us what not to do, we're going to make that same mistake, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So.
Well, go ahead, Lily. Say what you were going to say before you got cut off.
My bad.
No, you're good, brother. I just wanted to hear what she had to say.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, like, I really definitely support Will and Aubrey at Flawless too. I'm a really big fan of Mike of Balls of Fury. I feel like he's super educational. He's funny. He's very friendly. He's very supportive and uplifting for people that are starting out. And I think that that's like one of the most like heartwarming things to me. I think is like, I think a lot of people forget, like, everybody starts at nothing with this business. Like, you start with not like, unless you're born into a family of like insane ball python breeders and educators, like you come out with no knowledge. Like, you learn all this as you go. And I think especially when like it just comes like it did for us, like out of the blue, like we started with pets and stuff. So of course we weren't as strategic with what we were gonna breed and start and plan with like at first. And I think it's just all about learning and getting that support, and like just helping us like grow our business. Like, the thing is, like, reptiles there's so many, but it's still considered like a competitive, and it's like people still support everybody. And it's just like, that's why I'm so big on, like, I'm always sharing, I'm always liking, commenting. And I'm very grateful, because even like a lot of like smaller breeders have like reached out on many occasions, just like give us advice or talk to us, and even like just offer to like send us merch or send us the links. And that's why, like, we're starting, like, we've been messaging all these people, like, hey, how can we get your merch? Because, like, if we're going to be doing these videos all the time, like, why not show off, So I just think this is like all the support's the most important part, I think.
Like, if you seen Bosa, and main positive supporter, and that got deep right there. You see how that got deep? She got comfortable. That's what happened. That got deep, bro. But I'm just saying. Bosa is a main positive supporter. Like, if you talk to Bosa, man, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I always call him my brother. He's always gonna be my brother. Another one is Mike. Yeah, Mike. Balls of Fear. I love that guy. That's my brother. He's another brother. Him and I think is Darius. I think the other guy's name that his partner is. Yeah, he's cool too. We had them both on. They're amazing. I love them both. Of course, John from Arc Adventures. Obviously, he's been on the news. Or in that, what was it, that podcast room?
It's a creation museum, and it's all about the creation of animals and how we got here. We are now. So that was the podcast room. Then we did 2 televised TV shows back to back. They're about to air pretty soon. So,
nice.
Yeah, let us know. I'm excited.
I will.
Yeah. And I would love for you guys to like come join the Discord, and y'all can share. There's like, we got some big ball python breeders, green tree, breeders. I mean, all kind. We even got tiggies, everything in there. And it's just positive. It's uplifting. It's positive. Wake up. Everybody's like, good morning. And we'll put like funny gifs, like just dragging along the floor, just laughing. I mean, we have fun. I love to have fun. So, but yeah, I like that. See, it got deep. I love it. Um, so what is one thing, like if somebody came up to you and was like, I don't like reptiles. What is one thing you could teach that person?
The big thing is like I always when somebody say that I start questioning them back is why. What don't you like about them? And there's all you hear the craziest thing. Oh, they have diseases. They'll bite you. They'll eat you when you sleep. They'll wrap around your neck. And
They're
it's just
slimy.
the craziest things you hear, and it's like that's what I love about it is because they will say the craziest things that you can just show and prove to them or just educate them, and it's like a lot of times you see people about certain things get super passionate where to the point they're attacking people who have their own opinion. Everybody has an opinion. So we take the time not to attack them to figure out why they think these things and try to educate them on things we've learned or show them. Like, for example, she just posted our nephew recently holding one of our snakes because when he's 3 now, when he was 2, he was terrified. He wouldn't go in our house. He wouldn't go near him. He would jump. And now every time Uncle Cam, can I hold the snake? I want him on my neck. He
Yeah.
sees how gentle, how sweet they are, and how loving they are. And he just the opportunity to give that education and to give somebody a different light on things. Like, a lot of times people don't know something and they fear it. So immediately it's like, no, I don't like it, or no, I don't want that. And so with that opportunity, it gives us an opportunity to teach and learn from somebody else. Because a lot of times we're in this, we don't see the perspective of somebody who's not around snakes every day or dealing with it, how it could be a fearful thing. So it's something like, I don't know. I just love that part of education and teaching and being able to reach the young kids and people who've been living on this earth 30, 40, 50 years with that fear, and just to break it. My mom was terrified of snakes. And like to the point she wouldn't come to our house. We had to cover up our cages and everything. And I got her to hold the snake. She held it for 30 seconds, but she did it. And now she constantly asks us, how our business doing? How the snake? Like, she's even kind of invested in what we're doing because of the education we were able to learn and pass on to her.
Yeah. And I
Every
think
time we do educational shows, we do a lot. And we always got that one person, I won't hold a snake, they want to run. And I pinpoint nicely and work my way toward them slowly. And then eventually, 9 times out of 10, I can get them to at least handle my big berm or something. But we have a running joke in our house. Reptiles saved our marriage because nobody comes over no more. No in-laws, no family.
that's the real reason we got him. That's the real
Right. Oh man, that's funny. But man, so what was the most exciting part of your journey dealing with reptiles? Well, dealing with the ball pythons. What was the most exciting part?
Well, for me, maybe it's different for Lily. For me, it was learning and like, I don't know, like, it may sound cheesy or cliche, but like, I find a lot of love in my life seeing how happy she gets. And so, like, the motivation and drive she gets and the love like the spark in her eyes she sees when we get a new animal or she's learning something else or she gets, like, I'm not even kidding. Sorry, babe, I gotta say it. But I literally watched her get up and jump up and down and scream because Justin reshared something she said on her story when we were watching Always Evolving Pythons, and she posted it. And he reshared it, and she went crazy. Like you know what I mean? Just seeing those things like really excite me. Like those are the happiest things for me because I like. At the end of the day, that money can buy you things and all that, and we do well, but it's on the other aspect when we're gone. Like I want to know that we had that true love with each other. So it's like that's what it gives us another aspect to our love and our life, and it's like something we can enjoy. And I don't know, that's like the most exciting thing for me because I see every day how much it just brings us even closer.
Yeah, that's so cute. Oh, I love you. Yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. I think it goes like hand in hand both ways. I think another one of like my favorite things is like I have a snake tattoo that I got a few years ago. And the thing is, when I got the tattoo, it's not that I've never liked snakes, I've just never been interested in them. But I got the tattoo because I'm a Gemini and the design was like a dark and a day and night like snake. And people say like the snake is like a Gemini symbol, whatever. So that's what I got. And the thing is people always ask, for years, they always ask, do you have a snake? Do you have a snake? And I'd always be like, no, it's just a tattoo. And now, like, people for the past couple of years that we have had snakes, every time they ask, they're like, oh, you have a snake? Like, cool tattoo, you have a snake? And I always say, yeah. And like, I immediately grab my phone, and all of my like background is like immediately my snake, so I don't even have to open it. And I'm like, yeah, look. And it's always like questions are all like, and the biggest thing I get all the time is, you don't look like you'd have a snake. You don't look like you like snakes. Like, sorry, I don't know what you want me to look like, but it's just like crazy, because then it always opens a door for like this conversation of like why I like snakes. And half the time it's always people like, ew, snakes. And it turns into that whole conversation that we talked about earlier. Like, I really enjoy, it's not that I enjoy those conversations, but I enjoy like opening those doors to teach people, because always by the end of the conversation, they're like, oh, and 9 times out of 10, there might be that like straggler here or there that are like, still like, no, I'm not doing it. But 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, I'm going to check out your page. I want to learn more. Or like, how, like, can I come over and hold one? Like, so I don't know. I really just like that door that opens with that. So.
But that's an awesome feeling at the same time. Going back to like breeding too, like when you see your first snake come out, that's amazing. I remember seeing my first snake come out. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it, and I had 2 calico babies, both sold by the way. But I mean, it's just that feeling to see a movie and slithering around. And of course, I had a runt one. It was real tiny, but he grew up. He grew up. He's getting big because I kept him as a holdback. So it's just the excitement. So I get what you're saying when you see her jumping around. It is exciting. Like I got excited when the baby geckos were popping out left and right. It's like, oh my god, so many geckos. Like, what am I gonna do? But it's just, I get it. I get it. It's that feeling when you
This
see it. Like when
lifestyle
you
is like
first.
this lifestyle is definitely like a crazy passion, and I don't think people that aren't in it will like genuinely understand. Like, we probably all sound crazy to them with like how
Yeah.
obsessed we sound, but like those that get it, and it's very refreshing to be like with people that actually get it.
That's true. That's true. People always say, like, I heard you say they say they're slimy. I'm like, they're not slimy. Or do they bite? Yeah, they're gonna bite. They're defensive. You know, they have no arms and legs. They can't run from you. So
Punch you in the face.
I'm just like, yeah, it's a snake. It's gonna bite you. It's defensive. All it sees is a big giant hand coming over it, coming to grab it. You
And
know, so they don't.
that's why teaching proper handling and how to be and act around snakes is so important, because most people, they would just aim and go and grab it, and you got to know like, oh no, you can't do that, come from the back or
Yep.
whatever. So that's why like those kind of things are so important.
So I was trying to teach my son that, and my son, well, of course, they're not scared of nothing. They go and they open a tub, and he literally just goes in slow like this, and then tagged him. He pulled his hat back, and he looks at me, and I said, "What happened? You got your first snake bite?" I go. He goes, "Yeah," started crying, and then I told him, I was like, "Well, now you're official," you know. Like, I was laughing, like I was like, "Well, this is why you don't do it. You do it like this," and you know, showing them from the back. You gotta grab them from the back, and they'll hiss, and he gets scared. Now he gets scared because, well, he got tagged, so he's a little scared now. He don't want to be get bit again.
Yeah.
So, John, do you have any other questions?
So when you can start breeding and get more and more babies, um, obviously you're gonna sell, right? Are y'all planning on selling in the future?
Yes, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So right now we do have our morph market set up. We're just in the process of like we get all the supplies and stuff like that. Just to set up for it. Just to be prepared for it. We do plan on selling them. But like we said, it's more of a hobby for us, not so much like focusing on the money or trying to make the sales. We have more than enough space for the hatchling. We got all the spaces and more than enough food for them. So it's nothing worried about that.
You
So
just
it's
don't
like
want to
no
rush it.
pressure almost. But we do plan on selling it. But like I said, the focus is really on like making fine quality ball pythons more so than just like popping out a bunch of ball pythons because we can house them. We still want to make really quality stuff. Like it's the goal is to get what we really enjoy and like. And like I said, I love clown spot no combos. She loves like pies and exantics. So I mean, it just kind of worked together because those all go well together. So.
Great together.
Yes, they do. Yes. I was gonna say yes, they do. So that was my next question too. I was gonna ask, what are your favorite morphs? But now I know. Thank you.
I think we've definitely learned after like following so many breeders and watching, like, no joke, literally in our free time we don't watch like TV shows or movies. We literally go on YouTube and only watch like snake and reptile videos. I'm not even kidding. So it's like we've learned after all this time to be strategic, and like we could go out and buy 10 ball pythons right now, have them delivered to the door and pair them up, but like we're trying to like plan and be smart about our next move. And like I said, we're about to relocate and move soon, so we're just trying to be timely with it and kind of grow who we are and what we're known for before we're just like, oh, hey guys, here we are. We have all these babies. Come please buy them. Like, that's never who we want to be. So I think we're just like trying to climb that mountain rather than like, run up it.
Right.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So this question is a new question. Because I just thought about this like last live when I was talking to John. But y'all can answer it however y'all want to answer. Well, of course you're gonna answer however you want to answer. But so I was just gonna ask, like, what separates you from everyone else? Like, what makes King and Queen exotic? What separates you?
I mean, it's really, to me, it's really all about family. I mean, I think the big separation will be like on the lines of, like I said, like Flawless Exotics, Will and them over there. It's the transparency. It's to take the journey with us, to be a part of it. You get to see who the parents were, because we're going to be showing the vlogs of them being paired together, them laying the eggs hatching. You're kind of taking that journey with us to see your snake. And then when you get the snake, you feel more invested that you've been a part of that. You get to see the transparency of who we are and what we're doing, the goods, the bad, the ugly, the ups and downs, and the things that are happening. And I think like that's just very different style from a lot of the reptile community. A lot of times you see the really good and the really amazing things, but you don't see the downfalls or the climbs, and you don't like you said earlier, we don't get to learn those things. And like when people aren't teaching those things, it's hard to learn. It's like we're all making the same mistake, and the whole community itself kind of stays at a standstill. So when people are sharing this information, being transparent, we're able to all elevate as a community.
Yeah. And I think with me, I think I agree with that 100%. And I think a lot of people get into the reptile or get into like reptile or snake breeding, honestly, because they like it and they jump into it and they bite off more than they can chew and they get out of it really quickly. But they don't actually have that love, that passion, and that like, although we have that love and passion for breeding, like I really like am so focused on educating and changing, like that's like trying to end that stigma of snakes. And the thing is like I'm really big on wanting to teach younger kids and like just younger people in general, because like in all honesty, that is the future reptile generation. Like they need to know the proper things. They need to be supportive. They need to want to like snakes. And I feel like a lot of people today shelter their kids from snakes just because they don't like them. So I really want to have a platform. I want to like really grow with a lot of other creators and people that support education and stuff like that, and kind of just almost like build a platform for things that like they've talked about like at Animal Con that Brian hosted down in Florida, how they just sit there for hours and talk all these supportive things to each other. Like I want to be a part of something like that one day and kind of just like run the message of snakes like through the world. Honestly, like we have really big plans. It's like I honestly have the blueprints right here, and it's gonna take a while, but good things take time and great things take a little longer. So I mean, we're ready for it, and I think it's just gonna be an exciting journey. I think people will see over time that like Lilly and Kam aren't just a breeder. Like Lilly and Kam, that's King and Queen Exotics. Like they've got more than just cool snakes online. Like I think I'm just excited for that.
I love that. I really do. I love that. I loved all of that.
So I have one more question for you. So you're going to go from the beginning to the end and showing everybody the in between. One thing we do know about the community is we like to, some of us like to bash on how somebody else is doing something and we think it's wrong. How do you prepare to defend that? I made a mistake, or how are you going to take the negative with it? Because it's going to come, right? They're going to say, well, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done your research, blah, 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 because that's what everybody goes to, right? So how would you defend yourself, I guess, is my question onto that.
So that's kind of amazing that you actually asked that, just because a few hours before we got on this podcast today. I was talking to her about that because she was talking about like the community on TikTok, how every little thing they're bashing her about, where Instagram is saying something. I told her, say, hey, don't worry about that. People are gonna all have their opinion, but ask questions. You can never learn until you ask questions. And a lot of times people may not even mean to be malicious. They're just coming off like that. Because at the end of the day, we're reading a sentence off the internet or something. It's not like we're in face to face a lot of times to even hear it. So that's the first thing, is to ask the question like, hey, what are you trying to portray here? Like, what are you trying to tell me? What am I doing wrong to teach me? Is there something I'm doing wrong? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to take everything that you tell me and do my research on it. I'm not going to say, hey, you told me this is what it is, and I'm going to go follow it. I'm going to do my research and say, oh, snap, I was wrong. And then we're going to be right back in the video and say, hey, thank you to XYZ for teaching us this. They showed us something that we didn't know, and give them a shout out and show like we were wrong. Like, there are times we're going to be wrong. It's about learning and elevating. But also at the same time, it's like, I want the best for these animals at the end of the day. So if somebody, even if they're being nasty about it or saying something and it's true, I'm going to just take it and say, okay, let me do the research, find out that it's true. And like, all right, well, boom, this is what we need to do to change. And then express that to people. Like, it, even if they were nasty about it, we can flip it to a situation where we're teaching other people and it's educational for everybody in the community, instead of just keeping it because our feelings got hurt online or they might have embarrassed us. Like, we got to have tougher skin than that.
Yeah. I think going in with that, I think just being, like we've talked about, being so transparent. Like, the thing is, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And the thing is like, we've all started out somewhere. Like, I guarantee you, any of these people that are hating or being mean or being negative and nasty, like, it's not like they're picture perfect. You know what I mean? So I think, like he said, brushing a lot of that stuff off, but also approaching it with kindness, unlike a lot of people do. And I think that's what starts a lot of problems and drama and all that nastiness, is someone says something negative and then you respond back negative because you're upset that they said that, or whatever the case may be. And I think just approaching it with that kindness and keeping like our platform being known for, like, we don't stand for bullying. Like, we're here to support each other. Everyone's going to have their own opinions. Like, my biggest debate, the biggest thing I get on TikTok all the time is racks versus enclosures. We can go on and on all day about this. And the thing is like, we're going to believe what we want to believe, and you are too. That's fine. It's not like we're over here bashing you for having your reptiles in an enclosure. Like, it's, the thing is like, I feel like you just have to really be mindful of how you address things and realize that some people are like how we were 2 years ago. They just got into it. They don't know everything. And they probably just watched a video and saw, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. And then they go and see our video, and unfortunately their information was not right. It could be a simple miscommunication like that, where they're just not educated properly. So I think it's just all about being kind and remembering, like, this is a community. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna build each other up. Even recently, I actually had someone comment, or they commented something kind of mean and said something about the racks and this and that. And I like responded and I was like, I'd love to share some more information with you. Do you mind if I DM you some more information about racks? And I had this like whole conversation, and they were like way more understanding and even apologized about how they like came for me on the post. So like, I think there are opportunities for education and for growth, and not everyone's going to be open to that, but hey, I was able to just have that talk with someone and change someone's opinion slightly. That matters to me. So.
Right.
See, but I agree with that too. Like, I get all that negative feedback too. Like, it's hard. It's hard. But yeah, you gotta have a tough skin and just brush it off. Honestly, just brush it off. Keep doing you. But at least you went back to say like, hey, can you tell me more information? And other people are be like, F you and that and this. But y'all didn't. Y'all were like, well, do you have something else that we could do? But everybody, I feel like everybody always starts off with a PVC rack. Now, what you do from there, once you get your PVC rack, if get closures built or whatever, that's on you guys. But y'all are still learning. Y'all are still in the learning process. And I feel like y'all shouldn't be bashed because y'all are trying to learn. Like,
Yeah.
that's just me. And like you said, you got to be transparent. I've been transparent since I started this. And if you're not transparent, people will come after you and eat you. Like, they'll eat you alive.
Yeah.
They'll call you out on your BS. I've seen people get caught out on BS. I just sit back. I mean, and then they'll try to have you pick sides. Be like, look, that's between you. I'm cool with you. I'm cool with him. That's between you.
Exactly.
You know. It's always gonna come down to that. Always. It feels like high school. I
Yeah.
swear. But I
Yeah.
mean, but
Another
on a good note, on a good note, on a good note though about the community and the hobby is that yeah, I do see the positivity, coming from other breeders and everything. So I know it was supposed to be 45 minutes. I'm sorry guys, but I do have one more question.
You're
So
good.
I want
Yeah.
to. So well, I want to ask you one more question. Then I want to ask you the final question, and then leave it on a positive note. And then I'm gonna have y'all backstage, and then I'll talk to y'all after the live. Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So what is one thing that these animals have done for you that you didn't expect to happen when you started working with them, like ball pythons, like the reptiles? What have they done for you?
Just like for me personally, it's the patience. Like like I said, I've been a chef my whole career, so everything's fast paced. Everything's like how fast can you get it, how perfect, how and it gives me a time to step back. You can't rush a shed like, oh, it's blue. When is gonna? I used to check every single second. Every
Yeah.
single time I get up, I go look. You shed yet? You shed yet? So it just taught me patience and understanding and like just like learning something else. Certain movements before I was like, oh no, she's fine. She's just hungry. And oh no, it's the way I'm approaching her. She's hissing, she's striking because of me. So it's like being that patient and being quote unquote young again, where I feel like I'm brand new. Like you don't get that feeling unless you're really young or you're learning something completely new, where you feel that excitement to learn something new and everything else is different. So it gave me this like new breath of fresh air and learning something and it just gave me another level of patience because like being in fast paced life 12 to 14 hours a day and in and out is like you just get used to moving always fast and everything being high paced. So it gives me time to take that step back and relax and take a breath.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely get that. And I think with me, I think it's definitely taught me, like my whole life, I've been such a sporadic individual where I don't commit to things. Like I can start a project and boom, I'm on to the next thing. Like I don't stay interested in things very long. And it's like, I have such this like love for snakes, such like a commitment. And it's such like a hobby that like I have something like every single day I'm able to do something I'm happy with. Like before, when I used to be off of work and he was at work, and I didn't have anybody to like hang out with. I had nothing to do because I don't have any I didn't have any hobbies or anything that actually took up my time in a productive way. And it's like with this, it's given me something that I commit to. I know we have a schedule with everything and what needs to be done at this time and this time. I know like I have in my free time I can work on things outside of working on the snakes when it's not like in their handling time. And just like he said, it's just like patience and all this knowledge of something that like I never thought I would have known. Like if you were to ask me 5 years ago, like, hey, absolutely not. Like it's just really crazy to like think like, wow, my life has literally done like a 180 in a matter of time. And like what I wanted for my future is like literally like in the rearview mirror compared to what I want now. And it's just like it's like refreshing and just a good feeling to like be so devoted into something and so happy with it. Because even if our business ever were to flunk and we just didn't make it, like we're still gonna love ball pythons. We're still gonna probably breed them for our own. Like I don't know. It's just like it's a whole different type of like love and appreciation of animals. I used to have dogs and cats, and it's totally different with snakes, I think. So
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. John, you got anything else to say?
good luck. It's awesome. I love you're working
Right.
with a great.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
y'all,
thank you.
y'all did
This
y'all's
was so
y'all did
fun.
y'all's first podcast, so welcome. I
Thank
love
you.
this. It was awesome. I want to have y'all back. I definitely want to do a round two, but it'll be later. But I also do want to invite y'all on like a special co-host, like John.
Absolutely.
So I look forward to that. Before we go, I always ask y'all to leave like a positive note. Like, what's a positive message that you could give out to the people watching right now?
I
Uh, go ahead.
I think just step out of your comfort zone and try something new because it might be something that will change your life. It might be a passion that you never would have thought about, and it could make you so much happier than you ever thought it could. So take that plunge and just try it.
And just to love what you do, like put your passion and your A lot of times people are too prideful. As just human beings, we're very prideful, and so like with me, it's just like love to live, love to be here, and even if it's not the ball python community, it could be the retic community, it could be dogs, cats, whatever you decide to love, just love it wholly and love it in a respectful way. Just do it with honor and make sure that you live the best you can in representing if somebody's there or not. Because at the end of the day, that's the true dignity of who you are. Your integrity is what builds you.
And that is amazing. That's correct. And the music just got louder. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night.
Yeah, it just got so loud right now. Well, I just want to say I love that. I was gonna say for one thing, like invest in yourself. So I'm gonna show y'all this. I can't hear myself. So here's the shirt, the
Yes.
Untamed shirt. That's the logo on the back here.
Oh, we definitely gotta get some of those. Definitely
That's the
gotta get.
that's the podcast shirt. And then I was gonna say is when y'all do invest in yourselves, like invest big, believe in yourself, because nobody's gonna believe in you more than yourself. So that's why I mean, like, I got my own logo tattooed on me.
I literally just said I wanted to do that.
See, well, and then my sponsors, I got my sponsors here.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's dedication. That's where I want to be. 100%.
Like I love my sponsors. I love the people in the community. Like I do. I love everybody. I really do. And it's just getting louder. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna end it on this note. Like
Thank you.
everybody, just if you see, like, I want to thank you, Cam and Lily, for coming on. For your dream, come on. I love you guys on the podcast. I hope we get to do it again. Um, but if y'all ever see anybody like needing, a lift up or anything, lift them up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
on that, all I gotta say is y'all have a good night. Love you
Yes,
guys,
thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
and we'll see y'all again.
Thank you.